when you speak English, it becomes interesting if you use adjectives. Suppose you say, I saw a snake. It came from behind a tree. It was crawling on the road. There is no adjective here. But if you say, I saw a big poisonous snake. Now, big and poisonous are both adjectives. It came from behind a tall green tree. Now, tall and green are adjectives. You can say, it was crawling slowly on the rough road. Slowly is adverb, rough is adjective. So, other than using noun and verb or preposition, if we use adjectives, you find that your English becomes more interesting. It's like watching a black and white movie or a colored one, a black and white photograph or a colored one. The black and white is very sharp and clear, but color adds interest to it. Adjectives add interest to your English. So when you learn spoken English, adjectives are important, as you will find the different ways in which we use and the different words we use in this video. Let us begin with the adjective excellent. When you want to appreciate something, when you want to say something is better than good, then you use the word excellent. You can also use other adjectives instead of that. You can say exquisite, or you can say amazing, or you can say wonderful. Use all these adjectives when you are speaking so that your spoken English becomes better using these adjectives. Let us now see some sentences with excellent. I'm giving you sentences only with excellent. With other adjectives, you have to make sentences on your own. The dinner was excellent. You want to say that whatever you have eaten is good. So you say dinner was excellent. The speaker gave an excellent speech. You want to admire what the speaker said. So you use the word excellent. Suppose the boss wants to appreciate one of the workers, one of the subordinates. He can say, you have done excellent work. You give an idea to somebody who praises you by saying, this is an excellent idea. This is how we use this adjective. I gave you another few adjectives similar to it. Make sentences with them now. One more example is here, and that is the word serious. Serious is something which is not light-hearted. Serious is something which you have to consider with great attention. You have to pay to that. Serious can also mean something which is dangerous or harmful. In different ways you can use this. Look at the examples. He had a serious accident. That means a person was hurt very badly. That is why the word serious is used. They are discussing a serious problem. That means it's not an ordinary problem. It's a problem which is very deep. That is why the word serious is used. Now you find two more examples of serious. A serious crisis might happen any time now. We are passing through a phase where the world is in crisis. So you can say a serious crisis might happen any time now. Not much of serious damage was caused by the cyclone. Usually when a cyclone comes, much of the land, houses, people, all these suffer. But here, not much of serious damage. That means the cyclone was very mild. It didn't hurt anybody. The two earlier adjectives I gave you are adjectives of quality, excellent and serious. Now I'm giving you the numbers. In English, the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. are always adjectives. They usually qualify a noun. That is the function of an adjective. So whenever you use a number, consider it as an adjective. Practice these sentences so that you know how to use numbers as adjectives. I have one sister and two brothers. Now 1 and 2 are numbers. They qualify the noun sister and brothers. Our family has 10 members and 3 pets. So the number 10 and the number 3 both are numbers and they qualify members and pets. Here are some more numbers. There are 8 hens and 7 ducks in the farm. So 8, the number for hens, and 7, the number for ducks. We have 25 managers and 5 peons in our office. So 25, you see how it is hyphenated, small dash is put in between. And 5 peons. 5 is a single number, whereas 25 is 2 plus 5. That is how it is written. So writing, speaking, all this you can practice. Other than numbers, numerals are also adjectives. We shall see examples of numerals in the next 2 slides. Look at the examples. First, second, third, 10th. These are derived from numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 or 10, but they are written differently. That is why they are called numerals. And these are all adjectives also. The match was over in the first round. So one round we don't say, we say first round. We are numeral, we are assigning the position to these numbers. This is his second attempt to pass the exam. Second, 2 from 2, he's taken 2 attempts, so this is his second attempt. My third child is very intelligent. You may have 3 or 4 or 5 children, of which you are saying, my third child is very intelligent. Then the 10th house on your left is vacant. So you keep counting 1, 2, 3, 4, you come to 10. And then you can't say the 10 house, you have to say the 10th house. That is how numerals are used as adjectives. In the example I gave you at the beginning of the video, remember I told you tall green tree. There are 2 adjectives here. So there is an order which is followed in these adjectives. If there are 2 or more adjectives for a single noun, the noun is only one and you're going to attach many adjectives to it, then the order is very important. We cannot say green tall tree. We have to say tall green tree. Let us see the examples. Here you find there are 4 sentences. In each of the 4 sentences, there is a group of adjectives qualifying a single noun. In the first sentence, you find there is the noun man, there is a noun meeting. Both have 2 adjectives. So we say the smart young man came to the regular weekly meeting. Now you cannot say young smart man. That is not the correct order. You cannot say weekly regular meeting. That also is not the correct order. When you speak more, when you use these multiple adjectives, you become better. Rather than learning it by learning the rule, it is much better to listen, to read, and to know what is correct. The child wants a small yellow ball to play with. We cannot say yellow small. We have to say small yellow. Then you have, these dresses are made of fine Indian silk material. So for material, there are three descriptions: fine, Indian, silk. Now you cannot say silk Indian fine. You cannot say silk fine Indian. You cannot say Indian fine silk. This is the order in which you have to use them. The office has a large black wooden writing table. Now see, there are four words qualifying the word table, and you have large first, then black, then wooden, writing. The first is the size, next is the color, the third is the material, and the fourth is the use. In this way, there are rules for putting this. But learning the rules, I've already given in another video. Learning the rules is not good enough. What is important is practice. If you want to speak better, you need to practice. If you have two or more than two nouns, you might want to compare the noun, in which case the adjective which you use to describe that noun changes its form from one noun. You are using only one noun. That is called the positive degree. It is degree of comparison. If you have two nouns with using the same adjective for comparison, you use a different form of the adjective, and that is called the comparative degree. Two nouns. If there are three or more nouns, three or infinity, endless number, then you use what is called a superlative. The thing to remember in superlative is always it has to be preceded. In front of it, you have to put the article the, the. Only then superlative can function. Here are some examples. Suppose the adjective is small in size, we have to do something. If the adjective is more than two syllables, that means the sounds are more than 2 units, then we make it into something else. You will see in the next two slides the comparison. One building is there, so we say this building is high. But if there are two buildings, the next building, that means this building plus next building, is higher. So we added ER. For small adjectives, to make comparative degree, you add ER. The red building is the highest. That means this building, next building, red building. 3 are there, or many other buildings are also around. The red building is the highest. Look at the article the and look at EST added. So we add EST. If the adjective is small, that means only 1 or 2 syllables. What is a syllable? You will learn when you go to the pronunciation videos. Here there is only one vowel, high, I sound. So we call it as a single syllable word, ER for comparative, EST for superlative. Make a list of small adjectives you know and make them into comparative and superlative and practice your spoken English. When the adjective is longer than 2 syllables, look at the first adjective, expensive. So we have 3 syllables, expensive. So when we say this laptop is expensive, we use the positive degree. But if we add ER, it becomes expensiver. So big, we can't pronounce it. We can't say it. It's very uncomfortable. So what do? We add more for comparative. That laptop is more expensive than this one. So there are 2 laptops, this and that, comparative degree. More we add for comparative. For superlative, we add most, and the most has to be added. This is the most expensive laptop available. So there are 10, 20 different varieties. Of all these varieties, the most expensive. Now, write down all the adjectives, including the 2 I gave you in the beginning, and try to make They're comparative and superlative. You know, excellent, you have to say more excellent and most excellent. Serious is more serious and most serious. That way you make it and use in sentences of your own. Once you do that, your speaking becomes better, it becomes more interesting, very fluent and confident. Share these videos with everybody, like and hype the videos, subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and positively become a member if you seriously want to learn good English. You get many benefits by becoming a member. Thank you and all the best. I hope you have liked the video. Please subscribe if you haven't done it. Press the bell icon so that you get notifications. Like and hype the video and share it as widely as you can. Join the channel as a member to attend all the live classes I conduct and also to get other benefits. Thank you and all the best.